So we are just starting the political science of class 11. So last classes, you see, we discussed something about the making of constitutions, you see, and in the classes we learned something just about the constitution. What is constitution and from which word it comes, you see, we learned all those things. And secondly, you see, what is the definition of the constitution that's given by different political thinkers. And later we learned something just about the characteristics of constitution simultaneously. But today we learn, you see, something about how the constitution was made, you see. Yes, constitution was made, you see, according to a cabinet mission plan, you see. It was May 16, 1946, you see. And after that, you see that in every cabinet mission, you see, they had 3 members, you see, just from the British, of course, you see. And later on, you see, they just started, you see, just to find out the process to make the constitutions, So anyway, constitution was made by the Constituent Assembly, which were elected indirectly, you see. Because in those days, you see, in India, you see, what we call that, they have divided into 2 territories, you see. One is called province, but right now we are just saying that it's a state, and other one is called princely state, you see. Just like Hyderabad and all, you see, in those days, you see, it was princely state, because still, you see, when just you go through the history, you will find, of course, Nawab of that, what do you call this one, Nawab, all those petrol, you see, you will find, you see. So that is why, you see, that cabinet mission plan, they made the Constituent Assembly, you see, in 1946, in the month of December, they had first meeting, you see, just for the Constituent Assembly, you see. Now, question comes here again, you see, how it was just made the Constituent Assembly, you see. Constituent Assembly was divided. Constituent Assembly, you see, Constituent Assembly, of course, you see, was divided into 2 territories, you see, 2 territories. The one is called province, as I said already, that you see, province, that means the state right now, you see, which was ruled by British government directly, you see. Provincials, province territories, they were ruled by the British directly. And princes, you see, what do you call this one? Princely ruled, you see, they are ruled by the, what do you call this one? A prince, that is indirectly, you see, ruled with the British rule, you see. Now, question comes here, you see, how it was, of course, you see, how it was elected. Now, those Constituent Assembly's members, how it was elected. Now, number one, you see, Constituent Assembly's members were elected indirectly. As for example, you see, now, how the process, that how we are electing the president. Okay, so that is indirectly, they have one electoral college, you see. So all those electoral members of the electoral college, you see, they will cast the vote and to find out find out and form the Constituent Assembly. Now, you see that 2 types of territory occur provincial under the direct control of British, and 2 types of territories. One is called provincial provinces under the direct control of British rule, and other one is princely, you see. And again, from those 2, you see, one is provinces and other one is princely. So now you see that even, so government, of course, you see, they make divisions, you see, just from the province, how many constituent members that they have to elect it, and from the princely state, you see, how many members they have to elect it, you see. So that is why they just find out and just put numbers, you see. Now questions here, you see, that when they make the members just from the provinces or princely, I mean, you see, mainly again they just look into the community, of course, I mean, you see. Sometimes that you see just Muslims, sometimes Sikhs, then sometimes Hindus, I mean, in the religious basis, I mean, you see, they divided so that all the members, they will come in the equal way, I mean, you see. That means they can keep the balance, I mean, you see, while they just make anything, I mean, you see. So that is why, first, I mean, you see, just from the provinces, I mean, you see, they asked, I mean, you see, five of 292 members. How many members? 292 members, I mean, you see. And from the province, I mean, you see, there were only 93. So then that means it's that province, I princely state, that means those who are ruled by the, what you call that, princely, I mean, you see. Okay, just like Hyderabad, Patiala, as per example, I'm setting an example, I mean, you see. But still, that you see that some places, I mean, you see, the similar town that we are called, of course, I mean, Nawab of that. Nawab, that means in those days, I mean, is just kind of king, I mean, you see. So it's a kind of prince, I mean, that. So that is why Nawab, that means Hyderabad, then Patiala, all those, I mean, prince states, I mean, you see. So from the provinces, I mean, you see, they asked, I mean, to send 292 members, and princely states, I mean, you see, they asked, I mean, to send only 93 members, I mean, you see. Now, on what basis they will make the 292 members, I mean, you see, because they just make the 292 members, I mean, you see, according to the just religious, of course, I mean, but some places, I mean, which is strictly populated by Muslims, some places, I mean, which is strictly populated by Sikh, some places which are strictly populated by, what do you call this one? Hindus, I mean, you see. So similarly, they just see the proportion of that, I mean, you see, and according to that only, they just started to choose the members, I mean, you see. In those days, I mean, you see, those members are called, I mean, you see, legislative council, I mean, okay? So even Assam was also one of the provinces, I mean, you see. Okay? So now, and after that, so how they made those 292 members, I mean, you see, it is a very single transferable vote only. They used to elect it, I mean, okay? So electing process, I mean, you see, those which have, I mean, you see, a separate electoral body, I mean, electoral college, I mean, you see, they used to elect, I mean, you see, only for a single transferable vote, I mean, okay? So now we just come to the conclusion, I mean, you see. First, I mean, you see, according to Cabinet Mission Plan, I mean, you see, so they just asked, I mean, that is to make the Constituent Assembly, I mean, you see, and when they just make the Constituent Assembly, I mean, you see, they divided into two territories. One is called province and other is called princely. I mean, the province, that means you see that which is directly ruled by British government, and princely states, I mean, you see, which are ruled by the British directly, I mean, you see. And from the provinces, I mean, they started, I mean, to send 292 members, and from the princely, 93 members, I mean, that. So 292 also, I mean, you see, the basis of religions, I said already that, what do you call that, so Sikh, Muslims, Hindus, I mean, you see, in the ratio, in the proportional way, I mean, you see, they make the members, I mean, that you see. Yes. Now we just have learned something, I mean, you see, how the constitution was made, I mean, that you see, because first the Cabinet Mission Plan, and after the Constituent Assembly, I mean, you see, and then they divided into two territories, I mean, that you see, one is provinces, other one is princely, I mean, I explain anything, and next, I mean, the next classes, I mean, we will have, I mean, why the constitution was made, I mean,